Well, we're just gonna get right into it, right? High school experience. How do we want to do it? Like my experience, your experience, or we just both like chime in, whatever.
From what I know, I feel like we've had kind of polar opposite experiences. I loved high school. I would do it again. And you were like bullied in high school.
No, I wasn't bullied in high school. We need to clarify myself. I love this on the internet because it's simply not true.
Okay, well then talk about that. Yeah, like what do you mean you weren't bullied?
I wasn't bullied, but I just wasn't like popular.
Okay.
But I also was not disliked. I was just like unknown. Like people don't know about me. Like they know I exist, but they don't know anything about me. I'm just like the invisible girl.
Kind of just like an NPC, sort of.
Probably, yeah. And like people, I remember. Oh my god, I don't know if you did this, but like we had Facebook back then, right? And like we would have like for a TBH like on your wall.
Yes.
Right, and then
Yeah.
like I'd like people's like TBH, and they're always like, "Oh, you're so tall and like skinny, and like you're so quiet, but you seem cool though."
Did you guys have Ask FM?
I got bullied on AskFM.
People would ask you like the most unhinged questions. I think it was like freshman year of like uni, so like still Ask FM was like dying, but still relevant. One of the questions was like, "Are you trans?" I was like, That's the last question I had before I deleted it. No,
You don't?
no.
I have a crazy. Okay, it's not really a crazy story, but I have a story to tell. I used to get all these like AskFM people, like anonymous people being like, "Send me your boobies, send me nudes," or like, "Oh, like I wonder if like just asking random questions, like, oh, like you're a whore." If I'm like 14, and then I would just be in class, like looking at my AskFM, I'm like, the fuck is that? So like I would just respond to these and like be like, "So mean, like what's wrong with you? Like get a life. Like why are you DMing me this?" And I reply it and post it on my AskFM. And then one day I found out that the anonymous guy, he's like sending it to all like my entire friend group, all the girls, and then I realized who he is. He's like my friend. But he's not actually my friend anymore. But it's like this guy that's like 1 or 2 years older than me. He like would talk to me on Facebook Messenger, and I don't actually know him. I know he exists, but we've never interacted in real life. And he would always just like check in on me, like, "Hey, like how are you doing? And like what are you doing today? Like whatever." And then we'd like talk every day. One time he like didn't uncheck his anonymous, the anonymous box. He didn't check it, so it says like, "Oh, leave that out. Blank name." And I was like, "Blank name? I know this guy." And then he's literally that guy I talk to every day. And I confronted him. I was like, "Are you like weird? Like why you do this? I thought we're friends. What the fuck?"
What did he say though?
I was like, "You did this to all my friends too. Like it's kind of embarrassing. What the fuck?" And he was like, "I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Like I don't want you to think this of me. Like oh my god. Like I'm so sorry to find out. Like I didn't mean it. This is just like a joke. Like I was trying to be funny." And I was like, creepy.
Just
Weird.
Ask FM, like fucking wild. Not even the Wild West. There was Kick. Have you had Kick?
I know what that is.
I was groomed.
It's like a message app, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the original Telegram, if you know what that
I
is.
know what that is. Your stuff's not tracked. Right?
Basically, it's like the most private. Like
Yeah, something like
the
that.
cats are going feral. Right
Wait, but
now.
who would text you on Kit?
40-year-old men, 50-year-old men. I was groomed,
It's
but like I didn't. Or I think I did know.
how'd you find these people?
They found me. No, that's not true.
How would they find you?
I'm gonna like date myself now because I'm about to say like early on in the internet days. But back when the internet was like social media was like popping off, like really like mid to early 2010s. I was like really into like Pokemon. I still am, and I would like visit, like I don't know, like Pokemon forums or Pokemon communities or just like stuff online. There's not like YouTube videos, and there would always be, and this was like at the time, right, when Kick was like popping off and everyone had it. People would be like, "Oh, we're doing like a Pokemon friend group on WeChat." WeChat was like another one I had to get.
WeChat?
Yeah, there was like a Pokemon. Like this is before Discord was a thing.
WeChat
so,
is like an Asian app.
yeah.
I'm so
I learned
even know.
I learned that when it booted up and there was a bunch of like Chinese characters. I was like,
How do you know what WeChat is?
but I had it just for Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And then I think in one of those groups they added me in. I guess that's how these older men.
40-year-old Pokemon fan hit you up and was like,
I guess or it started that way, like because you make friends with these people, but you don't know who they are. Like you talk about the same interests, so there's already like a sense of connection.
Nalu. Our favorite fatty. Anyways, continue.
No, stop.
She's so cute. She's like,
Yeah, so I guess that's how like they find you. Well, they found me at least. I don't remember actively like searching for full 14,
okay.
13, 14. They would start off like, yeah, you just talk about Pokemon at first or whatever you have in common, and then it starts asking more about you. It's like, what's your name? Where do you live? What school do you go to? And like, I think the school question susses out who's a student or not, because school, right? And then at some point it goes from that to basically what you were saying before, like send me your boobies or send me your dudes, right? And
Actually?
I did. I mean,
No, you did.
I was teenager.
Have you seen their picture?
I don't.
Or do you-
No, I didn't.
Do you know that they're like much older?
No, I only know this now because like it just makes sense, like you hear all these stories now of like people back in the day. Got it. back then, like talking about
But
how
have iPhone. Actually, we did.
no, that was on.
We did have iPhones.
Yeah, but it's just crazy that like high school, like when we were in high school, these were like socially kind of acceptable things that we kind of trauma bond over now.
Because I think that's when the internet was like for real.
It was a lot less like controlled.
That website called Omegle.
They recently shut it down. Yeah,
As a 12-year-old, just be so bored going on Omegle, and then you have like old men being like, "Show me your boobies."
yeah. See, that's more like to the point. Like Omegle cuts out the whole
Yeah.
like. There's no Pokemon discussion at all.
Off topic. You know how I found out what yellow fever was?
Oh God.
Was when I was on Omegle, and I like matched with this like white dude. He probably looks like he's 20s or 30s. I don't really know.
And you were like what, like 15?
12. I was like a child. He was like, he just kept asking the fact that I'm Asian, and I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, send me a. Oh, I sent him a selfie.
Okay.
I was so dumb. Sent him a selfie because he was like, how do you look like? Like I want to know. And
I shouldn't be laughing, but
yeah, and I'm just like, like, what does that matter that I'm Asian? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
but now he probably still has that.
Like strange men on the internet encounter. I was like, the world is huge out there. There's a lot of shit out there that I don't know. Anyways, then I was like, America must be a very interesting place because he was American.
Right.
I remember.
Of course, of course.
I'm proud to say that I've never seen a dick on Omegle, ever.
I think that's an award in itself. It's really hard to like not come across nudes in both directions.
Because I don't think I go on it that much. I just like sometimes go on it when I'm with my friends, but I don't actually take it seriously. So I've never seen one.
Well, that's kind of why they had to shut it down too, because fucking underage kids were getting exposed. I mean, I would go on it, but like I have an account
I
back
want to
then.
make an entire podcast episode about Tumblr.
About Tumblr.
Yeah, because that was such a...
Wait, were you a Tumblr girl?
Well, I don't know what a Tumblr girl
I
is,
didn't
but
know
I have Tumblr open every single day for
Okay.
like years of my life.
For what? Like what were you on?
I don't know.
Like, what like as someone that didn't use Tumblr, right? Like what joy did that bring you to your world?
It depends on how you use it. For me, I use it kind of like Pinterest. So I would have my like blog and it's like your profile, and then you retweet or you repost someone else's shit, like really aesthetic photos or like quotes and stuff or drawings and art. I'd repost those, and then my blog looks like a Pinterest board. And that's what I would use it for. And every day I'd just like look at pictures. I'll just be like, oh wow, this is such a cool like concept. And then I'd be like, whoa, like this is what's like to like live in Beverly Hills. Girls like posting there with their fucking lemonade and like palm trees, and I was like, oh hey.
This is the life, guys.
No, actually. And then it was like the beach, like tropical life, and I was like, well, like basically, you know, like Pinterest, right? It's just like Pinterest. But I wouldn't really interact with anybody. It would just be my own thing. But I know other people would like, if they get big and they have their blog, like you could submit questions to them and they can answer. So let's say you're like the famous blog owner, and I'm like, hey, like, how do you, I don't know, like, I don't fucking, what's a good question? Like,
What's your favorite Starbucks order?
yeah, that, or like, it's like, oh my gosh, how do you have better style? Your style's so cool. Like, if they post pictures of themselves, and then like people should answer, like, on her like blog. Like, wow, this girl's so cool. You know, and then you like look up to her. But I don't have that. I just look at it as like a Pinterest. That's all I have to say. Actually, I don't think I hate a podcast episode.
Well, knowing you, that makes sense.
Makes sense to you?
I mean, yeah, because I'm imagining you like doing exactly that. Like,
Okay.
because when I think, I don't maybe because this is you're from Hong Kong, but when Americans think of like Tumblr, they think of what are they called, super Fulakian?
Huh?
But basically, like the fandoms loved I almost said Pinterest. They loved Tumblr, like the big fandom,
Fandoms. It's like a fan of a group of people that like likes one thing.
or like so the super Fulak, and I'm probably butchering this. Halakians, it's the show Supernatural, Doctor Who, I think that's it. And Sherlock, like that's
I know all the. I just have never seen anyone.
Well, apparently in the prime years of Tumblr, those were like the big three or whatever, right? Tumblr was like their breeding grounds, crazy, but like their meeting ground.
Wait, I don't understand Tumblr the way you're talking.
Because in America, Tumblr, I feel like you either have a really positive association to what it was, or a really like, oh, this is Reddit, but for for a different class of people. Fandoms went there. A lot of like original like Vine humor were just like reposted on there. A lot of communities were on there. I think like art was a big one. I think furries got their start there.
I'm pretty
Could
sure.
also be wrong on that.
Wait, so did you ever use Tumblr for anything?
Like I said, I would go on it, but only if like the link I clicked on was like a Tumblr
Tumblr
link, and it was just like Pokemon memes.
No, about my category. Like, what category of Tumblr users are like?
Well, I feel like you were the early Pinterest before Pinterest was more like what it is now. Like we use Pinterest at least a few times a week.
Man, I literally use Tumblr like I would use Pinterest
Yeah.
because I don't interact. I just post pictures. That's crazy. Because looking back, I was obsessed with that. Like every single day, like every single class that I'm in school, I have my laptop popped up, and I'm like,
Laptop.
yeah, high school.
You would just bring your laptop.
It's like
That was a
why
little-
wouldn't you?
That is so cool.
Wait, do you guys?
No, we don't do that.
Okay, so like we all have our laptop, and then you just like
Like your MacBook, you can just put
yeah,
it.
and people just everyone has their own laptop and that, and then like you go to class, and then they're like, oh, it's business class, and then everyone takes their laptop out, and then you probably just like type your notes or like it's like uni.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Wait, you guys don't do like
No.
Like, what you guys do?
Like I don't know, like a pen and paper.
But no like computers. What about school computers?
They had them, but that's only if like you were in the library, or like if they needed to bring them in, if like everyone needed to take like an online test at the same time.
Oh no,
Like you would just sign it out for the period.
sorry for you. No, because as somebody that like does not like school and cannot thrive in a classroom environment, laptop was like it saved my.
I feel like it makes sense for us not to have the laptop
I was never
because
on task. Like sorry.
we would not be able to task. That's exactly
In
why.
math, like we sat in the very back of the classroom, and then I fucking hated math. Like I hate math so much I cannot. So I sat in the back of the classroom, and then we would watch American Horror Story on our little headphones, but we look like we're like on task, but we're actually not just watching a movie. And then I'm really scared of like horror stuff. So
I think I know where this is going.
I screamed really loud in the back of my class. And I didn't say anything all like the left end. And then the teacher looked at me, she was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I was like, she's like, whoa. And I was like, she's like, what are you guys doing? And I was like, oh, you know what I said? I made something stupid, like, oh, like the clock or something popped up from my screen. And it scared me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm just being fake. And then the teacher obviously didn't believe me. And she was like, whatever you guys are doing. I was like, me and one friend. She's like, whatever you guys are doing, like, stop it now.
Are you guys like in the back?
We're in the very like corner of the classroom. It's almost like dark.
Yeah, you guys are like in a little shady corner.
Yeah.
Teacher's like, what are you doing?
She'd be like, so what question are you on now? Like, just to be like, prove that you're like listening. And we're like, oh, like on the. And then she's like, just forget it. Like, just fucking pay attention, please. And then we go back to watching the movie.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I thought like, I mean, it is a little different. I had like an AP Bio morning class, double period. No one wants to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and my biology professor did not care really to enforce any sort of rules for that entire like semester, I guess you can call it. My friends and I, we would play Monopoly Go, if you know what that, like the card version of Monopoly.
Like card games in class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like openly in front of him, like because he could not control the class. Not that we needed controlling, but
I get it.
like people would be doing their makeup in there, people would
I
just
guess
be
he
sleeping.
just doesn't care.
He just didn't care. I mean, we would just
Yeah.
be playing that, and that's why the highest grade anyone got on that test was I think like a 2, because everyone did so bad
2 out of 100.
out of 5,
Oh, okay.
which is basically like a 40 or a 30 out of 100, which is not good. I thought that was wild. Meanwhile, you guys are here fucking with your laptop.
But I have another like fun story. So for high school, we all have our laptops, right? And you can imagine how that goes. Everyone's chit chatting with each other. Everyone's in fucking Tumblr.
I'm just like worried before you continue. I was just like worried like this is gonna turn to like, oh, someone had porn open.
No,
Okay.
it's not bad. It's just like, oh my god, this is extra. But like, so everyone had their shit. Like obviously, like I'd say I don't know, like 1.5 of the class is not like on task, but like, at least not fully. School's trying to control that because no one's fucking paying attention. No one gives a fuck anymore. So they're like install this like software in everyone's computer. Everyone that is in the school that has a laptop needs to install this. It was like a mandatory thing.
That thing they made us get in uni when like Zoom was like a thing, so they can like track.
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah, I think similar stuff. But yeah, I remember for like a whole 2 weeks, everyone was lining outside of the IT office. It was like, oh, I get this installed, whatever. And like people were just like, what the fuck is this? And then when everyone had them installed, the teacher would like activate it or something, and then everyone's computer would like be alerted, and then she would start like having like a CCTV like surveillance camera shit on her laptop. So she would have her like teaching desk and then her laptop right here with all the screens of everyone's laptop in class. So like you obviously cannot like go off task, whatever. But the thing is like
Sorry, so you're saying she was screen mirroring what you guys were doing?
all of us, yeah. Or like, and this software thing is so fucking extra. Like they make us install in our personal computers because a lot
Yeah,
of
that's-
people buy their own computers.
It's called America, baby.
Yeah. So anyways, like, what was I talking about? Yeah. And then the problem was like these softwares are in your computer. So like technically they have like monitor over your computer. This is like not ethical because what if I want my privacy when I go home? Like you should have no rights to that, whatever. So then all the students started protesting.
Like walking out, like with pitchforks, what do they call it?
No.
It's
I'm
fake.
sorry, I'm exaggerating. I just mean like they all tape like posters all around the school.
That is
like,
not the same.
harass the the like, principal.
Wait, what does the tape? What do you mean tape?
Huh?
What do you mean the tape? They would tape?
They would tape like posters around the school. Be like invasion of privacy, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone would like they all start finding a way to like uninstall it. So
Okay.
then it's very quickly like I don't know, a very short span of time people start installing everything. So like now half of the class is like has their own computer and it's not installed. So people are like, fuck, we're not doing this. Like, you're not making me do this. And I also didn't install it and it never came back again. I think they like gave up on us. And that was it. Power to the people.
Successful revolution.
Literally. And it wasn't even that chaotic. It was not chaotic. It was like, oh, let's try. And then it's like, oh no. And then they're like, okay, fine.
But I mean, that was kind of fucked up. Like, I don't know how the law there works, but I don't think that would be in anyone's best interest. I think the closest my school ever got to doing something, I guess, political. At one point, they wanted to stage like a walkout. Basically, like when you guys just get up in the middle of class and walk out. Like, you leave the building.
That's lit.
But like in mass.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I can support.
Oh, they did do it. Some people did do it.
But will you walk out? What, you go home?
Yeah, you go home. You just leave the school.
Like, what's the reason?
Because there were so many like school shooter threats that like we said we had enough, like do something about safety. You would see like people would post on Instagram. I don't know if stories was a thing back then. It would be like oh, walk out tomorrow, third period, 5 a.m. or
It has to
5
be
p.m.
like,
or
everyone
something.
does it together.
Whoever is gonna do it is gonna do it, and they just share it with whoever. But we just know it was one of those.
So it's always like stuff happening outside of school.
For this specific one, I remember, yeah, people did walk out. I did not walk out, and I think most of the people in my grade didn't walk, or not my grade, but like my homeroom class didn't walk out. It's the middle of AP season. We can't leave class. So, but I do remember like some of the kids in like the other classes that were set on walking out. They did walk out. Our principal went on like the loudspeaker and said something about it, but she didn't really try to stop them because how are you gonna stop like fucking 100, 200 kids?
Okay.
Just like leaving.
So
Right?
they get punished or no?
Probably, but like no, probably not. That's too many kids. Like detention isn't even a thing in my school. At least I don't think it is. I don't think it was. No.
You know what's one thing that's 100% different than my high school and your high school is dress code. Because we have uniforms.
Yeah, I said uniforms. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I'm so jealous of you guys. I watch the movies like high school in America and I'm like, you guys can wear whatever you want. And I have to wear a fucking dumb ass tie. And like,
we're gonna post a picture of it.
Okay. My school was like so strict. Like we all had to, down to your socks, it has to be uniform.
Okay.
Like you can't just be like, okay, that your top and bottom is uniform, but like shoes wise, everything has to be like school brought. So like our socks were like red, but this like really ugly like burgundy red. Anyways, where am I going with this? I don't actually.
Well, no, I was gonna ask you. So like you said uniform, right? So that's Monday through Friday.
Let me describe my uniform.
Yes.
Oh, it's every single day as long as you're in school. But we have something called casual wear there. But anyways, uniform in middle school was nicer because it was like a short sleeve polo shirt. It was white, and then it had like a checkered like skirt, and then socks, and then like those like dress shoes,
like little clunky ones,
kind of like my docs but without the tie. Actually, that's not.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So like I'd always get in trouble because in the winter it's cold and they don't have like a jacket version of their uniform, or it's not warm enough. So I'd wear my own jacket, like my own puffer jacket or something, and then I go to school and then the teachers be like, a puffer jacket, and then they're like, it's not like the school color. And I'm like, it's blue, bitch. This is blue. This is blue. It's a different shade of blue, but it's still blue, okay? And then they're like, no, it has to be the same shade of blue. Like, oh my fucking god, I was pissed.
But like, would they punish you for like?
Yeah, they
like
took my phone away like the day because my fucking like jacket. Oh my god.
Wait, he didn't take the jacket away. He just took the phone away.
He took the phone away because the jacket would make me cold.
Not the collateral damage.
Oh, this is an insane story. So, one day as
Wait, sorry, I know I'm pausing you again. Why did you need to have the jacket inside of class? Is there like no heating?
Yeah, but when you're walking from class to class, you're gonna have your little jacket on, right?
What do you mean? Like, are you hiking through the mountains to get to the next class?
It's just like, like recess, we have recess and lunch, and then like breaks, and then it's like a 10-15 minute walk. It's like a 10-minute period before each class. You walk.
That's so progressive.
My school is just a building, like a long, tall building that's like 12 stories.
Your school was 12 floors? A hotel.
Your school, like
3 floors in the basement.
no, our school is a skinny building. You guys are like spread.
Okay, true. Does that mean you guys have like elevators then, I'm assuming?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
You get stuck in an elevator?
We have an elevator, but yeah. It was fun.
I'm learning so much about you right now.
I didn't share. I just assumed we had like the similar.
No, we had a single elevator in the school, and it was teachers only.
Okay, let's say
For 3 floors.
teachers only, unless like certain times in the day, like after school. There's a teacher I really did not like.
I know this story. I think I know this story. Yes. Only.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he knows what the story is. So like, I really fucking hate it, right? Because he'd always pick on me in class and always like, you're not listening. I'm like, no. And then he's like, well, like, you stand up and like you sit down if you like can finally answer a question in class, whatever. So he's just annoying. And then after school, I was like, well, rules don't apply anymore, bitch. Like, because I walked in to an elevator and he was inside and I was my head off. Like, today's a long day. And we walked in, we both didn't like him. It wasn't he was going trying to go 2 floors up, and we're trying to go 7 floors up.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he was trying to go 7 floors up, but we're trying to go like 2 floors up, but we didn't give a fuck because we had time. So we pressed all the fucking buttons, all of it. And like he had to wait probably like 10 times of the elevator stopping before he could go to the floor that he needed to go. And you know, one thing that's so fucked up, I'm so sorry, but I did not like him. Like, the reason why he takes the elevator, because he limps. Like, he's got some foot.
You left that out the first time you told me
Yeah,
that story.
so, like, when he walks, he's, like, visibly, like, limping, right? Like, he can walk, but bro is, like, slow, right? Bro needs the elevator.
What if he had to go to the bathroom?
I'm like, not my fucking problem. Because I just did not like him. Like, he was, like, a teacher I really dislike, and for good reasons, right?
What were the reasons? Explain, because now I feel like if people hear this, they're not going to be on your side.
Oh, okay. Well, picture the kid that's always in the back of the classroom, never listening, always yappy with the people on my table. And I'd like give the like, I don't give a fuck. And then he would always pick on me and he's like, oh, like answer this question. And I'd be like, I don't know, I'm sorry. But sometimes I do know. And like he would end up being like, wait, like okay, whatever he said there was something cool. Every single class for like 5 classes consecutively, he would always be like embarrassing me in front of everyone. He's like, oh, like what's your name again? Elise or Elsie? Like, me to stay behind. And I'm just like, fucking got my name wrong. And now I'm staying behind for what, right? And then he would be like, it really saddens me because I feel like you have such a potential, but you just don't care.
Like,
wait.
Try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was like, you could actually be really good at this class if you just tried. You know, that was the last class of the day, so everyone's just like
Over it, right?
so over it.
But it sounds like you were mean to a really nice man that had a disability.
No, but like everyone hated him. Like he would pick on like girls like makeup or like, oh, if they wear makeup, you can't wear makeup. Or it's like, oh, your uniform's wrong or you're using your phone. Like he's just always like,
It sounds like he was being a teacher.
and he's like really like bitchy about it. You know, just like something about it rubs me the wrong way. And I can't see what it is.
Would you say everyone in the classroom, percentage-wise, was taking notes? No, like what was the percentage of people that care?
If you divide the class in thirds, the first
Sure.
would be like, oh my god, so engaged. Like, and the second one would just be like, yeah, we're present, we're trying, but like, are we like trying? I don't know, but we look like we're trying. And there's the ones in the back, just me, like I'm just doodling.
I feel like for me, 95 to 97% of people cared in the class. Except AP Bio. Except AP Bio, because at that point, the teacher could even like care, so we didn't care.
Class people cared fully.
It was like not competitive, not crazy. Like everyone like got along. What were your classes like? Because it sounds like this was a student problem and not like a teacher problem.
I am the problem. I just felt like it was this really strict and extra and annoying.
The one thing I will say is like looking back now, I kind of wish, controversial, but I kind of wish we had uniforms.
Why? Oh, because you didn't have to think about
Well, 'cause-
it.
Well, me now, like having to go into the office 2 days a week has become not just, oh, I'm going to put on this t-shirt and this, like that's too easy. I want to actually try. And I wish if I had like in high school a uniform, it would cut out all of that. Looking back now, I've seen how I dressed in high school. I kind of wish those photos that did not exist. A uniform would make me look
Yeah.
better, I think.
But then it depends if you actually look good in the uniform. Some people do,
True.
some people don't.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I looked good. I felt really insecure in my uniform actually, because girls always have to show their legs, like their bare legs, and I'm just like, oh my god, I have to shave. Or it's like, oh my gosh, like it's cold, and then in the winter we'd also have to wear skirts, and I'm like, this is not fucking fair, because like I'm freezing while men can wear like long pants and like be okay, and like we can't do that. Like the only thing I could do is add like the stockings. But it was just so extra. And I'm like, why am I so uncomfortable going to school every day when I wish I could just wear a pair of jeans and like a t-shirt and call it a day?
Mhm.
I'm like, why am I putting up a tie every single day? And like all those uniforms made me so insecure. I don't know why. Like the shorts and like everything fit weird. Because I think because I'm like longer than like okay, I was known as a tall girl. Like when you take like school pictures, they lined you up in like 3 lines, whatever, tallest, middle, like lowest, and I always being the tallest, and like no girl would be there. I just feel so awkward. I'm like, why am I this like giraffe looking thing? Why can't I just be like every other girl, like cute and dainty, but I'm just like this giant thing? And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then when I wear my like gym clothes, my shorts are like fit it differently than the other girls. Like it's a little wonky. And oh my god. And then like jackets, they would like cut off here. Like cut off like here. I wouldn't be here. And I always wanted to be like doing like this, like Ariana Grande. Like but then my shit was like all the way up here and I'm just like, it's so awkward, you know? And I can't buy my version of my uniform because shit don't fucking fit me.
They had like a one size fits all.
They have like I guess like small, medium, large, but like
Well, maybe you were just large.
I was just longer because like I mean that's the problem. It's not because I'm too fat or too skinny or too tiny. My limbs are actually longer. So, like when I wear those track pants, like they would cut here and it would just look really awkward.
So you've basically been wearing a uniform your entire life.
That don't really fit me.
That doesn't really fit you.
Unless it's like the skirt. The skirt is chill, but like anything with pants, I'm like I always feel awkward in it.
How did that change when you got to uni?
Oh, uni we didn't wear uniform.
Now that you didn't have to, how did you feel? Like,
Free. Like free. Like I just like lived this lifetime of having to put on uniforms and now being like, wow, I can take whatever I want. Today I want to wear like jeans. I can do that. That's insane.
which is funny because I feel like I haven't really ever seen you in like jeans.
I just mean Jean as an example.
One of the first things I noticed about you after the initial was, oh, she has a good sense of style.
That's crazy.
And yet, like, it's basically like saying, oh, wow, that kid is like really smart. And then you find out they're homeschooled, you know?
Oh, wow.
Like, knowing this about you now.
That's such a compliment. But I only shop.
It's like, where did you learn? Oh, maybe all the time on Tumblr.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
anything on Tumblr was like aesthetic.
Yeah. Because, like, where did you learn to dress then? If school, because I feel like to a lot of people in America or anywhere,
How did you learn how to dress?
social media and like school also, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you guys got to practice actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like each year, would you say like your school, like whatever you wear, is like has evolved and gotten better, or do you care?
So I didn't start actually caring like fully about what I was wearing until like uni. I look at those pictures, I was like, I was thinking about what I was wearing, but I was. It was the first time I actually like started to develop my style, right?
Cooking.
It was cooking. It was cooking. It wasn't cooked, but it was cooking.
But like it's simmering.
It was simmering, yeah.
Yeah.
The pot is on. Well, I did start to care like junior year when I got my contacts and everything, but it was very much inspired by like also maybe the shows I was watching. It was very like skinny jeans were in trends. It was really skinny jeans, like fucking skin tight skinny jeans I was wearing.
Yeah.
Plaid was also like stuff I was wearing, and also just zip up hoodies. But that was kind of like baby, like oh shit, like he just got like fashion consciousness versus before he was wearing
Yeah.
the same one hoodie every single day or the same one or two t-shirts that every day that week. Really drastic change there, I think, as I grew older. Looking back, I feel like yeah, if I had a high school uniform, it would make things so much easier.
No, I get it. I totally get it because I did not have to stress about that.
Well, I also feel like looking back at pictures of me in high school, it's like, I look embarrassed. Like wearing
I
that.
think when it comes to uniform, I had way too much structure and you had none. Let's talk about dress.
We do have dress codes.
Tell me if our dress codes are the same.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
So like for girls, at least, no, like you can't show your shoulders. You can't wear tank tops of any sort. Can't show your midriff, your belly. What else? Oh, and you can't have like holes in your jeans or holes in your.
Oh, okay. We didn't have that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Just like don't like for girls, it's just like do not show like skin. Period.
One thing I remember specifically was like no spaghetti straps. I don't know. I still don't know what that is. I only know that exact phrase because that's what the girls would say. They were like, "Oh, no spaghetti straps." I'm like, "What?"
It's
Still don't
just
know what
like
that
really thin like spaghetti straps on your shoulder. Like picture a spaghetti, and then it's like your tank top.
Like a linguine.
Yeah, like a line. So like tank tops sometimes they have thicker lines, but like I guess thin like spaghetti lines.
No spaghetti straps. No, everything you said plus that. Then except the no hole in the jeans thing,
Yeah,
they didn't
yes,
care.
yeah.
The one different one I think is the length of shorts. I remember like this was the era where like super short shorts were like a thing, right?
For girlies?
Yeah, for girlies, I guess, right? For anyone, right? And like let's say this is a girl, right? This is her legs. The shorts these girls were wearing were like this short,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
like this short, right? Like this entire
Just
section.
covers the coochie. That's it.
Barely. You know, they would comment, like they would wear that, and, like no one would stop them because technically they were like. I mean, they had cute outfits. Like I can say that now,
Yeah.
right? I feel like they were more patrolling, no like open, like no sandals, right? Like you can wear slides, but like nothing like political. I think
Were you like like a social butterfly?
I was definitely social, like compared to like you, like compare me to uni. I compare myself to like high school. Like uni me was so closed off.
That's insane.
Yeah, like I kind of just stuck to a few like close friends, right? Like you obviously.
Okay, why don't we start with you telling everyone about your crushes?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So not naming names, right? So let's call them Apple and Cinnamon. High school was like the first time I think where I started to address that I like guys, right? So compared to middle school where I had only I think one or two crushes, they were both girls. High school was the first time I had like, oh shit, there's this guy I like, or like I have these same feelings I had for Banana, for Apple now, right?
Yeah.
So one of my first ones was Apple. We had I think one or two classes together. He just seemed like a really cool dude. He was really nice. I could tell he was just friendly with everyone. He would be really social. He is, I guess, what you could say like a social butterfly,
Yeah.
but more like chill, low key about it.
Uh-huh.
I just like the things he did. Like he did like all the stereotypical like attractive things. Like
Like a popular kid?
I would say that. Yeah, like he even did some of like the prettier girls in our school. So I guess you can say he was popular. But yeah, like he played guitar, he skateboarded, and that's kind of why I kind of allowed myself to be like, oh, he is cute, because part of me did think, oh, well, he might be bi or something, right?
Was he? Or do you know?
No, as far as I know now, he's not bi, but he seems more bi now than he did back then. But that was like one of the first ones I had, and it was really one-sided. It did last for like 2.5 years.
And it was one-sided the whole
Yeah, but like, okay, here's the thing. This
Redeem yourself.
is my first crush, but I wasn't like head over heels thinking about him every day. It more so became like, oh, well, I'm gonna see him fourth period. It's gonna be like the highlight of like my.
How much do
period.
you guys interact?
Besides the class, like not much. We did hang out once after school, just the two of us. I remember when he like asked me to hang out, I was like, oh my god, like just us. Like, and in my mind, I'm thinking date. I kind of did feel like that. It was pretty cute.
Do you like openly flirt with him, or you?
I was openly flirting with him, but not like, I wouldn't consider it flirting now. This is how like a fucking teenager would flirt, right? Really awkwardly, make you just like start laughing a little harder at their jokes. You just start laughing at what they say. You smile more. You're like an active listener. You're like, that was crush number one. And you know, after that, I didn't care about anyone. Not, and then until I think junior year, I met, funny enough, it's his friend or his Cinnamon. Like, yeah. So Cinnamon was friends with Apple.
And we go for the best friend.
No, listen, Apple, I think, was more friends with Cinnamon's brother. So Cinnamon's Apple's friend's brother. You can follow. But Cinnamon, I was like, oh, he's pretty cute too. And this is junior year now. So I feel like at this point, I kind of was more into it. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't like girls as much as I did in middle school because so far, none like the two crushes I've had are not girls. Cinnamon, I had no classes with him. I think we were like a year different. The excuse I had to keep talking to him was we were doing an article and he was part of whatever production we were writing the article on. He was one of the people I was tasked to interview. That was supposed to be like a quick 20-minute, once and done interview, right? No, I ended up having like 3 interviews with this guy because I kept using the interviews as a way to see him and talk to him.
Do you reciprocate anything?
No, like I don't think he could even tell. I would never be like, I like you, I love you, because I wasn't even like out.
Do you remember, like, I think there's this one poor girl in my school, like,
I should have to specify that.
because I feel really bad for her, because I think she, actually don't really know how it goes, but she, I think, confessed to a girl in the grade that she liked her, even though the whole time she thought that they were friends or whatever. And then I think she, like, freaked out or something, and she, like, told everyone in school and, like, made a whole rumor. People were very, like, homophobic.
Sorry, I'm like grinning because when you said poor girl, I thought you meant like financially. I was like, how is that relevant?
I feel bad for her, because, like, that sucks,
Yeah.
But not that way.
I was like, she got rejected, she got outed, and she's broke.
Yeah, and, like, people were fucking
Yeah.
homophobic. Were people homophobic in your school? I mean, you guys were more, like, aggressive.
Like I maybe I was like not sheltered, but like maybe it didn't happen
Yeah.
that I would see. But I mean, there were openly gay kids in our school. There were kids that were obviously gay, maybe not open about it, but you could tell. Apparently people thought I was gay. I mean, they were right. But later, like my friend was like, yeah, everyone thought you were gay. I was like, well, I mean, they're not. They weren't wrong. But like knowing that, like no one was like ever like mean to me about it. No one ever like,
That's so cool.
no one ever called me like any slurs. I think our principal was a lesbian too. I mean, this is Brooklyn, New York, 13 to 17, pretty, blue state. Also, our school was like known for its drama department. Or like they really focused on drama. Gay kids love drama. So
Were you a drama kid?
no,
Oh, the drama.
no, I was an honors kid. And then you have, I guess, Gen Pop, right? Like everyone else,
Gen Pop. What's that?
like general population,
Oh, okay.
right? They're just going to school to go to school and get an education.
What about, like, below that?
Below that,
People that are probably, like, not catching up with the rest of the people.
I guess
Their
that
grades are really bad, whatever. Like, they're on the verge of, like,
failing.
failing and shit. Like,
Oh, I mean, we had to fail all the time. You would either have to go to summer school or you would just fail and repeat a year. Like,
we don't have stories about, like rumors, like, teachers getting with students. Do you guys have that?
we had one,
Okay, I think we had, like, a couple. I'm not sure.
a couple.
Or, I don't know, but these are all rumors. It's like I hear people like, yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, we had people pregnant in high school, like
We never had.
like in Gen Pop, but they were there.
Did they ever have the kid or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so, because they would come to class, with the belly. So I think at that point it's too late to terminate. That should be a slogan. The one incident that we had happened before most of us even started high school. If you went to my school and you know who I'm talking about, let's call him Peaches because he had a nice one. Basically, he was really hot. Like, I was like, how are you a high school professor? And I think he taught English or something to Gen Pop. So lucky them. He was like really conventionally attractive,
Like,
nice build.
out of 10.
10. 10. And he had a really nice ass too, right?
Just have to be.
Yeah, Peaches has the peaches.
Yeah.
Before I guess most of us started high school, like maybe 2 or 3 years back, he had sex with a student, and she had resulted pregnant. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard this from too many people in high school that it might be true. She got pregnant, and now like they have this kid together.
Now she's pregnant. She's a teen mom.
Well, she's not a teen mom anymore, but that's the only one we had that in terms of like a teacher and a student having any interaction.
It's like the most like rebellious thing you've done in school.
In high school? So this is the one thing I keep saying every time I say I would redo high school. I wish I was more rebellious. Or like I wish I had like a curfew so I could break it. Like I had a fun time in high school, but like I didn't have like bad influences, I guess. Like I would also parent myself.
You parent yourself?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like you want to?
Like how parents are like, oh, don't drink, like avoid like peer pressure like smokers,
Do
right?
that for yourself.
I was doing that to myself
Why?
because I was like, no, like that's bad. Smoking is
Wait,
bad.
who are you? Oh,
Drinking, I would never do that. Even if I'm an adult, I would never.
you're such a good boy. Like, oh my god.
I mean, my dad would always try to get me to drink alcohol, like at family events. I'd be like, no, I don't want it. Ew, no.
Why do you think that? Like, why do you think you're not like
I
rebel?
think because I was like, gay.
Okay.
I wish I wanted. This might sound shitty. I wish I had the Euphoria experience.
Oh yeah, I always think like
in high
it's
school.
like that in the U.S. And
I mean, maybe now, maybe not. I feel like everyone's an iPad kid now, but I was such a goody two shoes.
I
Like,
think I felt like being like going to high school in America would toughen you up.
I've seen school fights. Yeah.
You guys are a lot more like unfiltered and like
Oh no, people will kill each other like for fun,
You guys could go.
and it's gotten worse now from what I can tell. But
Yeah.
no, like in high school, like my first day in high school, first day, as I was walking to school on my block, haven't even crossed the street yet. I'm still on my block. These kids on a deli on my corner, like all like the freshmen that were there, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna jump you all after school. Like, you better watch out. You better watch out." And that's the first thing I heard all day. And like I had that in my mind the entire day of my first. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get killed after school."
We never had any of those fear.
But then that same week, first week in school, like I saw like a freshman get thrown in the trash can.
Okay, damn. You guys really take bullying to the next level.
Oh my god! And then my first day in high school, I get to the cafeteria, and this upperclassman girl, she sees me like a deer in the headlights. She comes up to me, she grabs me by the arm. She's like, "You're my boyfriend now." I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Yeah, you're my boyfriend now. Here." She gives me a lollipop. "This is yours. You're my boy." And she takes me to her table. And she's like, "Hey guys," and they're like, "Hey, who is this?" And she's like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend." And I'm like,
Did you
Huh?
say you were not her boyfriend?
I didn't say anything. I'm like still processing what is going on. I'm like, wait, what? Like, huh?
I'm hungry.
I just like walk away, but I got a free lollipop out of it.
People in Asia are a lot more timid.
Yeah, no, the people in high school are not timid at all.
We're so like composed and shit. Like the worst they would do is like yip yap, like gossip, you know?
A lot of like these experiences, what I'm telling you now, those were Gen Pop kids.
Okay, general pop.
Yeah, because I feel like the honors track kids, which was like me and like my peers,
Uh,
we were not like that. We you know,
we're like actually studying.
like people cared about their grades, right?
No,
But not in like in a nerdy way, like, oh, this is the only
Like-
thing that defines me.
Yeah.
Like people cared about their grades. Like they didn't.
Okay.
I would say like people did not want to like fail.
you just being competitive. I think my school is really competitive.
Our school is not competitive at all. But we have competitive kids for sure, but not like our reputation was.
Those last 3 years of high school, there was no memory but just study. Like
Yeah.
there's no like we were all just like, oh my god, fuck. Like we're doing the IB program and it's so hard, and we're all just like trying to like stay afloat. It was just like whoa, you know. So there was not anything fun there really. Like much of what I was talking about earlier was why like middle school to like beginning of high school, and then it just gotten like so much more serious.
So you would say your high school experience got worse or better?
Probably worse. I had like a friend group, like a solid friend group. I like actually fuck with everybody in there, and we like actually have a lot of fun. But like a couple of them like moved to boarding schools to another country, so like the friend group just like broke. And then we start entering the whole like, oh, everyone study, everyone grind, like it's so serious, like it's so stressful. Like that's the last 2 years of high school, and that was it.
Junior year was the hardest. I think for for everyone, because that's the year we had AP US.
Because it was the first time like how you would do things so like intensely.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't slack off anymore. You know, like I'm actually like trying. I remember at this point. And then
I had the least amount of sleep junior year.
oh yeah, for sure. And then I discovered coffee, and I was like, holy fuck, this is so good. And yeah, I remember, you know, homeroom time is like the beginning of your everyday. But I remember even during those slacking times, like we always be on a computer like typing up an essay, you know.
We had to write ours on pen and paper.
But the essay that we had to write was like 3,000 or 4,000 characters.
Characters.
Words.
I think ours were like 5 to 6 paragraphs. I don't know how many words that
We had
is.
to write like a whole scholar like fucking article. It was so horrible. Like we had to work on this essay. Everyone had to do it. It's like a senior thesis. And
Like just your English class?
no, just
or-
for like your entire like if you're gonna get your high school diploma.
A thesis?
It was like at least 30%
What was your thesis on?
psychology. Something about like you can pick whatever. Yeah. It's funny because like we went to the same uni. But I remember like the first freshman year I came to USF and I was like, wow, everything's so easy. And I was like, oh my god, I knew all of this like in like second like junior year of high school. Like why am I still learning about this? And then I go to like of the math class and I was like, this is like grade 9 maths. Like
That would have been like what? Trigonometry?
yeah.
Grade 9?
Grade 10, grade 9.
Grade 10?
Yeah. But then uni math was slay because I was like, I know.
Uni math was not slay. You failed calculus.
You know what was crazy? I remember like I had to go to like an English rhetoric class in uni, and we all had to submit essays and like swap and like give each other critique. This guy who literally wrote like you would text, like he'd be like LOL or like instead of you like YOU it's just the letter U
Letter U.
or like no full stops and stuff. And he's like I love boba or something. I'm just like this is insane. Like is people like why are people so bad at like English even though this is like the country for it? You know, like I was so shocked when I came and I was like I can write better than you. Like not to flex, but it's like Like I feel like our education system was more advanced.
There's this one kid, let's call him Air Fryer.
No.
He was so like he's just naturally funny at everything he says and does, and his essays were so
I
hilarious.
think he has like the best personality.
I love him. I love him. He's great.
I love people like that because they're just so like everything about them is just so cool.
They're just naturally funny. So like you're
Yeah.
always gonna like have good energy around you.
And like you can tell they're so themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Tiger, she's just naturally cool.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about high school
Talked about high school. Talked about a lot of
a
things.
lot. We deep dive into it.
We went from what Omegle
Oh my.
from Tumblr
All the like SFM, Tumblr, Facebook,
Tumblr to high school to this.
to friends, to like scandals,
First
uniform.
crushes, uniforms.
Crazy. So much to talk about. I could go on forever.
But now we have future episodes. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up and call it a day. But this has been what is our podcast name? The TBD podcast for now. We don't know. We're patent pending. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Be so bad. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Time to be.